Hello, my dear friends. Today, I want to share a story with you about a journey that many of us might find familiar, the struggle and determination to speak English fluently. This is a simple story, told in a way everyone can understand, and it revolves around a boy named Alex. His story is one of persistence, growth, and learning to overcome obstacles. Before we dive in, let's talk about fluency. Fluently speaking isn't just about knowing grammar rules or having a wide vocabulary. It's about confidence, practice, and the ability to think and express yourself naturally in another language. Alex's story will show you how he navigated his challenges, learned from his mistakes, and found his unique path to fluency. This isn't a story with tricks or shortcuts. It's about hard work, real experiences, and the kind of persistence anyone can relate to. It's written in a conversational style, making it easy for everyone to follow and feel inspired. So, let's step into Alex's world and see how his determination turned his struggles into success. Hello, my dear friends. My name is Alex, and I'd like to share my journey of learning to speak English fluently. It wasn't easy at first, but it's something that changed my life in ways I could never have imagined. I grew up in a small town where English wasn't spoken much. It was taught in school, of course, but it always felt like something we learned only for exams, not for life. My native language was my comfort zone, and I rarely stepped out of it. But everything changed when I turned 16. One day, my teacher announced that a public speaking competition was coming up, and the speeches had to be in English. The idea terrified me. I couldn't imagine standing in front of an audience, let alone speaking in a language that felt like a stranger. I tried to avoid it. I thought about skipping the competition altogether, but my best friend Sarah encouraged me. She said, "Alex, this is your chance. If you can do this, you'll unlock a whole new world. Don't let fear stop you." That night, I sat down and thought about what she said. She was right. I had always admired people who spoke English fluently. It seemed like a superpower. They could connect with others, express their ideas, and explore opportunities that seemed out of reach for me. I decided to try. The first step was understanding my weaknesses. I realized that my vocabulary was limited, my pronunciation was off, and my confidence was almost non-existent. But instead of letting these things hold me back, I used them as a guide. I started small. Every day I set aside time to practice speaking. At first, it was just repeating simple sentences I found in books or online videos. I'd stand in front of the mirror and say things like, "The weather is nice today," or "I like to read books." It felt silly, but it was a start. Then I began listening more. I'd watch English movies and shows, paying close attention to how the characters spoke. I repeated their lines, trying to mimic their tone and rhythm. I even started singing English songs, which was both fun and helpful for improving my pronunciation. One of the biggest changes came when I started thinking in English. At first, my thoughts were in my native language, and I'd translate them into English. But this slowed me down. So I made an effort to think directly in English, even if the sentences weren't perfect. I also made it a point to speak with others. My friend Sarah became my practice partner. We'd have conversations in English, no matter how simple or awkward they were. Sometimes I'd stumble or say the wrong word, but she always encouraged me. As the competition approached, I wrote my speech and practiced it relentlessly. I'd record myself, listen to the playback, and make improvements. Slowly but surely, I started feeling more comfortable. The day of the competition arrived, and I was nervous but prepared. When my name was called, I walked up to the stage, took a deep breath, and began. At first, my voice trembled, but as I spoke, I remembered all the practice I had done. By the time I finished, the audience was clapping, and for the first time, I felt proud of myself. That moment was a turning point. I realized that fluency wasn't about being perfect. It was about being brave enough to try, to make mistakes, and to keep improving. After the competition, I didn't stop. I kept practicing, learning, and pushing myself. I joined English clubs, participated in debates, and even started helping others with their English. Every conversation was a new lesson, and every mistake was a step forward. Today, I can speak English fluently. It's not just a skill, it's a gateway to new opportunities, friendships, and experiences. And if I can do it, so can you. After that life-changing competition, I felt unstoppable. Speaking in front of an audience had given me a sense of confidence I never thought possible. But it wasn't just about the competition anymore. It was about everything that came next. The first big opportunity came a few months later when a group of exchange students visited our town. They were from different countries, and the only common language we could use to communicate was English. Our school organized a week of activities, and I volunteered to be part of the welcome committee. At first, I was nervous. I thought, what if they don't understand me? What if I make mistakes? But then I remembered the stage, the applause, and the pride I felt after my speech. I told myself, "You've got this, Alex." When the exchange students arrived, I introduced myself. "Hi, I'm Alex," I said, smiling. "Welcome to our school." To my surprise, they responded warmly, and soon we were chatting like old friends. I realized that people weren't judging my grammar or pronunciation. They were just happy to connect. One of the students, a boy named James from Australia, became my closest friend during that week. We talked about everything: sports, food, culture, and even discovered a shared love for music. James had brought his guitar, and we spent evenings singing songs, sometimes mixing English with our native languages. It was during one of these jam sessions that James said something that stuck with me. "You know, Alex," he began, strumming a soft tune, "it's not about speaking perfect English. It's about having the courage to communicate. That's what fluency really means." Those words became my mantra. As time went on, my confidence grew, and so did the opportunities. I started tutoring younger students in English, sharing the tips and tricks that had helped me. Teaching was a new challenge, but it also reinforced my own learning. When I saw my students' eyes light up as they grasped a new concept or spoke their first full sentence in English, it was incredibly rewarding. One day, my teacher approached me with an idea. "Alex," she said, "there's a national English storytelling competition coming up. I think you should participate." "A storytelling competition?" I asked, intrigued. "Yes," she said. "You have a natural way of connecting with people through your words. This competition could be the perfect platform for you." I agreed, and over the next few weeks, I poured my heart into preparing my story. I chose a theme close to my heart: overcoming fear. I shared my journey of learning English, weaving in moments of doubt, courage, and growth. When the day of the competition arrived, I stood on a much bigger stage than before. The audience was larger, the stakes higher, but I felt ready. As I spoke, I saw nods, smiles, and even a few teary eyes in the crowd. When I finished, the applause was deafening. Winning first place was incredible, but the real victory was the connections I made. After the competition, people came up to me, sharing their own struggles with English and asking for advice. It felt amazing to inspire others, but the most surprising moment came when a man in the audience approached me. He introduced himself as Mr. Carter, the director of an international youth leadership program. "Alex," he said, "your story was powerful. We need young leaders like you in our program. How would you like to join us for a 2-month exchange in London?" London. The idea of traveling abroad had always seemed like a distant dream, but now it was within reach, all because I had learned to speak English. The next few weeks were a whirlwind of preparations. My family was proud but also nervous about me traveling so far. My mom gave me a long list of advice, from packing essentials to staying safe, while my dad simply said, "Make us proud, son." Arriving in London was a surreal experience. The bustling streets, iconic landmarks, and diverse people. It was a world unlike anything I'd ever seen. The program was intense but rewarding. We attended workshops, collaborated on projects, and, most importantly, shared our cultures. One of the highlights was leading a workshop on communication. I shared my story with participants from all over the world, encouraging them to embrace their own journeys to fluency. It was incredible to see how my words resonated with people from different backgrounds. By the end of the program, I had not only improved my English, but also gained a global perspective. I returned home with a heart full of memories, a mind bursting with ideas, and a renewed sense of purpose. Fluency in English had opened doors I never knew existed, but more importantly, it had shown me the power of connecting with others. It wasn't about being perfect. It was about being brave, being persistent, and being myself. Some genuine tips and tricks to help anyone become fluent in English. I'll explain them in detail, so they're easy to understand and follow. These methods are practical, based on real experiences, and can be used by anyone, regardless of their current level. 1. Speak as much as possible. Fluency comes with practice, and speaking is the best way to get it. Here's how to do it. Start small. If you're shy, begin by talking to yourself in English. Describe your day, your plans, or even what you're cooking. Find a partner. Partner up with a friend, family member, or join language exchange platforms to practice regularly. No fear of mistakes. Remember, mistakes are part of learning. Focus on communicating your message, not being perfect. 2. Think in English. One of the biggest hurdles in fluency is translating thoughts from your native language to English. It slows you down. Here's how to change that. Label objects. Start by labeling things around you in English. Instead of thinking, this is a table in your native language, just think, table. Simple thoughts. When you wake up, think, what's my plan for today? In English. Gradually build this habit. Progress to complex ideas. As you get comfortable, try forming longer thoughts and even daydreaming in English. 3. Listen. More to speak better. Listening improves pronunciation, vocabulary, and understanding of natural conversations. Watch and mimic. Watch English movies, TV shows, or YouTube channels. Pay attention to how words are pronounced and mimic them. Podcasts and audiobooks. Listen to podcasts or audiobooks during your commute or free time. Songs. Sing along to English songs to improve rhythm and pronunciation. 4. Practice daily conversations. Regular practice builds confidence and fluency. Common phrases. Learn and use common phrases like, how's it going? Or, what's up? To start conversations. Role play. Imagine different situations like ordering food, asking for directions, or introducing yourself, and practice them. Join groups. Join English-speaking groups or clubs, either online or in person, to practice in real-life scenarios. 5. Expand your vocabulary. A wide vocabulary makes expressing yourself easier. Word of the day. Learn one new word daily and try using it in sentences. Context-based learning. Instead of memorizing words, learn them in context. For example, learn recipe while reading about cooking. Use flashcards. Apps like Anki or Quizlet can help you remember words with regular review. 6. Improve pronunciation. Clear pronunciation helps others understand you better. Imitate native speakers. Repeat after native speakers from videos or podcasts. Use pronunciation apps. Apps like Forvo or Google Translate can help you hear and practice correct pronunciations. Break it down. Break words into syllables and practice them slowly before speeding up. 7. Surround yourself with English. Immerse yourself in the language as much as possible. Set devices to English. Change the language settings on your phone, computer, and apps to English. Read everything. Read books, articles, or even product labels in English. Be curious. When you see or hear something in English, look it up and learn its meaning. 8. Use technology. Take advantage of the tools available to you. Language apps. Duolingo, Babbel, or Rosetta Stone can help you practice daily. Online tutors. Platforms like italki or Cambly connect you with tutors for one-on-one practice. Voice typing. Use the voice typing feature on your phone to practice speaking. 9. Record yourself. Recording yourself speaking can help identify areas to improve. Play it back. Listen to how you sound and compare it to native speakers. Track progress. Over time, you'll notice your pronunciation, fluency, and confidence improving. 10. Be consistent and patient. Fluency doesn't happen overnight, but small daily efforts lead to big improvements. Set goals. Decide how much time you'll dedicate each day, 20 minutes, 1 hour, and stick to it. Celebrate progress. Reward yourself when you reach milestones, like holding a 5-minute conversation or learning 50 new words. Stay positive. Instead of saying, "I can't do this," say, "I'm getting better every day." Bonus: Alex's secret tips. Here are a few extra tips from Alex's journey. Create a safe space, friend. Have someone like Sarah who encourages you without judgment. Practice in the mirror. Seeing yourself speak can boost your confidence and help with body language. Tell your story. Share your learning journey with others. Teaching or explaining something strengthens your own skills.